Another tragedy is coming out of the Diamond Comics distribution mess. And this is hitting all the small publishers, guys. This is like all hands on deck for the comic industry. IDW is failing. We covered Valiant Comics is failing the other day. Now, Boom Studios has announced they're cutting their production. We're going to be publishing fewer new series in 2025. They're trying to spin it, but this is the death of the comic book industry. Comic shops are toast. I mean, I don't know how much longer they can survive at this point. Back in the day, they used to say that there were like 3,000-ish comic shops that carried comics all the way, and there were about 500 that bothered carrying like all the indie stuff that you might want to get. And they were like the golden 500. Well, now it's like 500 comic shops that their business is comics. Most of the others out there these days, board games, Funko Pops, collectibles, CGC grading. Now, like for new comics, there's like 500 shops that stock these things. And if Diamond just didn't pay out millions of dollars to these companies, that really destroys their bottom lines. So that's exactly what's happening here with Boom. Boom almost went under last year, if you don't remember. We will cover all of it so you know what's going on with Boom Studios, the publisher of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, in just a moment. Please smash the like and subscribe button. Join us here as we talk about all things in comics. There are not a lot of comic channels out here who actually cover the business stuff anymore, but we're trucking along, my friends, and I appreciate you being here. And, of course, we produce independent comics ourselves. Our last one, The Emerald Array, went out digitally to backers this weekend. Got so many beautiful messages saying it's some of the best science fiction comics you guys have ever read, and I really appreciate that. Just got another one last night. Thank you for doing that and watching and reading, my friends. This is my newsletter. So next time I have one, which is I'm coming out with graphic novels quarterly. While Boom's ramping down, I'm ramping up. So we're crushing it. We're having great sales. Fans are loving the books that are coming out. Get in here. It's a great value. It's like the best deal in comics. You get my full Flying Sparks Volume 1 graphic novel, the one that started it all, my superhero universe, right here for free, along with a science fiction novel and a fantasy novel. It's $50 value just for signing up, and that way I can stay in touch with you a little better. You never know with YouTube algorithms what they show to people and everything. I definitely want to make sure that you guys are not going to miss any of the future books, because there's awesome stuff on the way. The best stuff of my career is just about to hit in the pipeline, and it's amazing. Thank you for being here. All right, so Boom Studios is slashing its single-issue comic book output in another sign that the comic industry is in massive trouble after the Diamond Comics distribution bankruptcy. Last year, reports came out that Boom Studios was teetering on the edge of bankruptcy itself, and that was absolutely crazy, that they were just sinking as a ship. They lost one of their main publishers. IDW lost theirs at the same time. They both kind of were exiting as writing was on the wall. They were in a lot of debt, millions of dollars of debt, and they didn't know what they were going to do with this. They didn't know what was going to happen. Penguin Random House, the big New York book publisher and distributor, came in and bought Boom Studios out from oblivion at this point and basically rescued the company. So this was all last year, and this was quite the story, a big shakeup in independent comics. Boom has been known in recent years for a lot of its like crowdfund stuff. Has been the stuff that's been going out there. Not so much a lot of licensed stuff. They did Keanu Reeves' Berserker, which did really well online. Of course, some Power Rangers stuff has done very, very well. They did a Farscape volume. But a lot of their independent stuff, like when Boom first started, they were known for like Mark Waid's, Incorruptible, Irredeemable, and things like that. Now it's more licensing, and that's never a good sign for a company. All these creator-owned projects are really dying on the vine at this point, and it's because there's just no comic shop sales anymore. It's really, really sad to watch. Now, of course, at the beginning of this year, Diamond Distribution, which is the big distributor of comics, and you're wondering, wait a minute, I thought Penguin Random House was a distributor. Here's the thing. Penguin Random House actually sub-distributes to Diamond for a lot of their accounts. If your comic shop doesn't buy enough product, they don't want to deal with you directly. I mean, it's so ridiculous how this all works, and it's just such a chain. Diamond didn't pay Penguin Random House millions of dollars, so companies like IDW and Boom were sub-distributing through these companies, and they just got hammered. Hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of dollars of sales evaporated because Diamond just didn't pay. And that's exactly what's happening. So IDW was announced a couple weeks ago that Penguin Random House is just trying to have IDW pay them back through future sales, basically, is how it works. And of course, Penguin Random House owns Boom, so it's going to be a similar situation, which means they have less capital to deploy for this particular deal right here. So weird stuff. And this is a huge, huge deal. So they have a Comics Pro event in Glendale, California, where they have all the retailers meeting, complain to the publishers, and things like that. That's happening just recently. And Michael Kelly's the new publisher of Boom Studios, who introduced himself this week after former publisher left and left with IDW's publishing Jamie S. Rich to form their own company. They're also at the event separately. I guess Josh Hayes, the vice president of sales, was supposed to give the talk, and they were going to talk about the state of Boom. Now, a lot of filibustering, a lot of stuff that was gobbledygook, talking about the industry and blah, blah, blah. We love our customers that I just cut out of what was transcribed on here. But here's what we got from him right now. He said, this time last year, we were looking at a distribution landscape, and as it was unfolding, we were evaluating the changes we could make. Just a few months later, we were acquired by Penguin Random House, and that set our course. We had plenty of time. We were moving our business in July, tons of time. There it is, time and time again, messing with things. Almost exactly 1 month later, the event that shook our industry and just 5 years ago would have seemed utterly impossible happened. Diamond had filed for bankruptcy. We found ourselves with less time, and that meant our time to take change was going to be much faster than expected. So here we are, economy problems, Diamond problems. What are we publishing? Boom is still Boom. We're working with the most talented creators in the industry. Gobbledygook, like I said. Corporate gobbledygook. Bringing the books your customers will want. Horror, action, licenses you'll love. Okay, great. Those are still going to be our bread and butter. The launch lineup for this year features bold stories from names you know and love and some you don't yet. We're adding this. This just doesn't mean anything. To our legacy of incredible Power Rangers crossovers with a new chapter and launching the VR Troopers in their first ever solo series. And this is where he dropped the real bomb after trying to spin that all things are rosy. Things are not going well, it turns out. Sales are not covering the bankruptcy issues, the funds that were a big problem that came from this, and they're losing money. And so they're going to have to make major cuts, as they said this. As an area we're able to change as part of Penguin Random House is our focus. And what it means is how much we're publishing. So Penguin Random House said, yeah, you're losing us money. Slash your shit. We're going to be publishing fewer new series in 2025. And look at how he spins this. Because we are committed to presenting you with books that have all the ingredients you need to make them a success. Think quality over quantity. Now, full stop here. So what he's saying is wait a minute, in 2024, we weren't publishing books that have all the ingredients to make them a success, and they were quantity over quality? This drives me crazy. It's the DC All-In initiative sort of thing all over again with these talking points. It's wait, you weren't all in before? You weren't bringing the creative stories that you're going to love before? Is that what you're trying to say, that you've just been phoning it in all this time? And that's what it sounds like. But unfortunately, it is just the same people doing the same things. And he's just using corporate speak to try to pretend this big gaping wound is going to get covered up by a Band-Aid is really what's happening right here. And so they're slashing their titles because they are, in fact, losing money. And that's going to be something that we're going to see going forward with Boom. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Sign up for my newsletter in the description below. Don't miss a comic book, and we'll be back soon.